Since the dawn of humanity, a question has echoed among philosophers, theologians, and seekers. Where did God come from? Has the Creator always existed? Or did he emerge at a time before time? The Bible begins with enigmatic words. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But what was there before the beginning? An eternal silence? A world before ours? Theologians affirm that God is eternal, without beginning and without end. But our finite mind struggles to comprehend the infinite. The book of Job declares, "Before the mountains were born, before you gave birth to the earth and the world, from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. Eternity knows no clocks, knows no sunrise or sunset. It's like an ocean without shores, impossible to measure." But some scholars question, could there have been other worlds before this one? Ancient rabbis in the Jewish Midrashim suggest that God created previous worlds and destroyed them. These creations would be like cosmic rehearsals before the final masterpiece. The Zohar, a Jewish mystical text, speaks of hidden worlds and invisible spiritual spheres. In Greek philosophy, Plato imagined eternal realities beyond matter. And in Christian theology, Augustine wrote that time itself was created along with the universe. In other words, before our world, there was no clock, there was no yesterday, there was no tomorrow. But still, there was God. The prophets describe a God who dwells in eternity, not in time. Isaiah declares, "Thus says the high and exalted one who lives forever, holy is his name." If he dwells in eternity, he does not need a beginning. But we humans need to ask, was there another world before this one? Science speaks of cosmic cycles, of universes that are born and die in collapses and expansions. Would it be possible that God has guided other universes before ours? The Apostle Peter said, "The heavens existed from ancient times and the earth formed by the word of God." Word that shapes, word that recreates. If he created once, he could have created before. Or it could have created dimensions that we will never know. Ecclesiastes reminds us, God has set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. In other words, the mystery remains veiled. Even so we dare to dream, were there celestial kingdoms before Adam and Eve? Lucifer, before his fall, dwelled in indescribable glory. The angels already existed before the foundation of the world. This suggests that there was a prior celestial order. But would this be an other world, or just part of the same eternal plan? In the Kabbalistic tradition, there is talk of destroyed worlds that preceded ours, a succession of creations until we reach the one we know today. Already in apocryphal manuscripts, the idea of hidden realities, parallel universes can be found. Would they be echoes of a forgotten time? The prophet Jeremiah said, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." This indicates an existence in the eternal thought of God. If God knew us before we existed, what else was already in his eternal mind? Eternity is not just infinite duration, it is a state of existence beyond time. And within that state there could have been worlds we will never see. Some ancient masters spoke of the idea of a cyclical creation, where God generates and renews. The psalmist declared, "From everlasting to everlasting, you are God." Cette phrase suggère plus qu'un simple début. Elle suggère des cycles sans fin. Mais toujours, à chaque cycle, Dieu reste le même. Il est le constant au milieu de tous les changements. Jésus dit, "Avant qu'Abraham ne fût, je suis." Le "je suis" n'a pas d'hier, pas de demain. Il est simplement, c'est l'essence de Dieu. Être, exister. Soutenir, l'apôtre Jean a déclaré, "Toutes choses ont été faites par lui, et sans lui, rien de ce qui a été fait n'a été fait." Par conséquent, s'il y a eu des mondes avant, ils ont également été soutenus par la même parole. Mais s'ils ont été détruits, c'est parce qu'ils servaient un but passager. Et ce monde, le nôtre, serait la scène de la plus grande révélation, la venue du Fils. Les anges, qui contemplaient déjà la gloire de Dieu, furent également témoins de cette création. Ils ont chanté quand la terre s'est formée. Le livre de Job décrit Les étoiles du matin chantaient ensemble, et tous les fils de Dieu se réjouissaient. Cela montre qu'il y avait une vie céleste avant l'existence de notre planète. Donc, nous ne sommes pas face au premier acte du Créateur, mais peut-être que c'est le plus profond de tous les actes, parce qu'ici Dieu s'est fait homme, a marché parmi nous, et a habité notre histoire. Ce fait ne s'était jamais produit auparavant, ni dans d'autres mondes, ni dans d'autres époques. C'est comme si toute l'éternité s'était concentrée en un seul point, la croix. Et tout ce qui s'est passé avant ou se passera après trouve son sens dans ce moment. Mais cela n'élimine pas la question. Y avait-il un autre monde avant celui-ci? Certains manuscrits gnostiques parlent de royaumes invisibles, créés et détruits. Ils décrivent des couches de réalité qui coexistent au-delà de la matière, et la Bible suggère quelque chose de similaire lorsqu'elle parle de nouveaux cieux et d'une nouvelle terre. S'il y en aura de nouveaux, pourquoi n'y aurait-il pas pu y en avoir d'anciens? Pedro dit que les cieux actuels seront détruits par le feu. Et alors surgira une création renouvelée, parfaite. Ce cycle de destruction et de recréation pourrait être un modèle divin, mais ce n'est pas un cycle de répétition sans but. C'est un cycle qui mène à une destination finale, la plénitude de la communion avec Dieu. Les pères de l'Église affirmaient « Dieu n'est pas un être dans le temps, mais celui qui a créé le temps lui-même. » Cela signifie que nous ne pouvons pas lui appliquer la logique d'origine. Il n'est pas venu de nulle part, il est simplement. Mais nous, êtres limités, cherchons des images pour comprendre. And so we created the question, where did God come from? It's like asking, what sound does silence make? The answer is beyond language. But the biblical revelation insists, God is eternal, self-existent, infinite. And yet, he draws near to us. The creator of the universe reveals himself as Father. The eternal becomes close in the Son, and the infinite dwells within us through the Spirit. Maybe we will never know if there were worlds before ours. Maybe. We will never understand what existed before time, but we can know that God was there, he has always been, and it always will be. Some rabbis said, God created worlds and destroyed them, until he made this one, which he called very good. Others claimed there was nothing before, only him, and he was enough. Both ideas point to the same mystery. God is the source of everything, and even if worlds have existed, all flowed from him and all returned to him, because in the end everything is from him, through him, and for him. The Apostle Paul declared, "For from him, through him, and to him are all things." This is the definitive answer to any speculation. God is not just the beginning. He is the very foundation of being. We don't need to imagine his origin, for he is the origin of all things. We don't need to imagine his end, for he is the ultimate end of everything. But we can indeed contemplate the mystery and let ourselves be fascinated. Asking does not diminish faith. On the contrary, it deepens the desire to know. And in seeking, we discovered not only answers, but the living presence of the Creator. Where did God come from? He didn't come. He always was. Was there another world before ours? Maybe. But what matters is that this world was chosen to reveal the greatest of secrets, that the eternal God decided to walk with us.